Welcome, fellow fans of Clash Royale. Thank you guys so much for stopping by Galadon Gaming, the rare card only challenge. And yes, it's going to be some games where we are playing with only rare cards, no commons, no epics, of course, no legendaries. And this all started out on a live stream. This first attack was done live in front of hundreds, if not more, people, and it was against another live streamer clans member, Clash Daddy from Phone Cats. And again, so I had a bit of an advantage. This was at reset, so I was level 13 facing a level 11, which was probably a good thing because this deck is not a deck I would ever intentionally bring to a contest. All rare cards just doesn't give you the diversity that you need to counter something like, well, a golem. The golem just about gets there. I get the tombstone in. Tombstone, man, underrated card, but unfortunately that poison spell did not help me out. Wiped out the skeletons. Golem is on the tower, and early on, this level 11 looks like he may be going to smash the big level 13, but I'm going to come back with 3 of the cards I do like to use in a normal deck: the Musketeer, the Valkyrie, and the Hog Rider. Hog gets to the tower, gets one shot off, puts me in the lead simply because my towers have so many more hit points and, of course, do more damage on the defense. I do get the Elixir Collector as well, so there are a few cards in this deck that work out, and I was trying to put together a deck that functioned. I didn't just randomly grab any rare cards. I did try to grab cards that work synergistically together to give you a more optimal outcome when battling opponents. But you get the point. So I've got the Inferno Tower, I've got the Tombstone for defense, I've got the Fireball for splash control, and here comes another Golem, this time trying to meet it with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Valkyrie out at the river. Valkyrie going to get too close to the tower. She is going to get fired upon by the cannon, the tower, and the princess. She is long gone. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. though, going to work before the minion horde takes her down, and now that Inferno Tower can do the rest. But I'm still forced back on the defensive, and I've lost about 600 hit points off that tower on the left-hand side. So early on, I'm sweating it with less than a minute to go. I'm wondering, can I get through? Can I try to get to this tower with this strange array of cards? But again, this trio is my favorite set. Valkyrie, Musketeer, Hog Rider, love those guys. The poison spell doing well to slow me down, but that OP Hog Rider just about finishes off the tower. No poison spell for me. Love that card, can't use it today, but I will get that Tombstone in there, and that should stall out this Golem long enough to get a few other structures down, including the Inferno Tower once again, and that is going to melt that Golem so quickly. So this worked out ideally that I had the Inferno Tower facing a Golem rather than, say, a Hog Cycle deck or a minor Mini P.E.K.K.A. deck. So embarrassingly enough, I'm just going to go ahead and take the W from the Hog Rider and from the Fireballs. That should be enough to do it. Finally, we just need one more shot on that tower. As time runs out, we will eventually get somebody there. We had to go into overtime though, so it wasn't easy, and Clash Daddy throwing up the good game. And yes, level 13 against level 11, but why do you think I do this at reset? I'm not going to do this stuff towards the end of the season. I want to do it at the beginning of the season so I don't completely embarrass myself. I do not want to face another level 13 player with only rares or only epics or even only common cards. Maybe that one's coming next. But I tell you what I did do. I posed the challenge to my full attack clan, and Wolf622 took up the challenge and went out and found another player of the same level. So we've got a 10 versus 10 battle right here. And yes, Wolf has only rare cards. Now he does have a slightly different deck than I brought, choosing to bring both the Rocket and the Fireball, kind of an unusual combination, but we will see that it works out okay. He starts out with a Tombstone, the Hog Rider, of course, the Fireball going to help the Hog Rider get to the tower. It's going to get just 2 shots in before it goes down. But again, when you're battling the same level player, just scraping off a few hundred hit points at a time with each individual push can be enough to get you the W, and that is exactly Wolf's plan right here. Now we see 2 types of battles. Sometimes we'll see a battle where it's just one big push that's going to get you to that tower, gets the tower down. Maybe it's with a Golem or with a balloon and a giant. But here, Wolf is just going to count on trying to use the Mini P.E.K.K.A., the Musketeer, and he's got a Furnace going. So the Furnace, the Hog Rider, a few offensive cards that can work together well to get to a tower. But again, he's kind of up against it. Now, you are counting on players to make some strange mistakes, like that poison spell Was curious, not sure if I would recommend that. Obviously, the furnace was just about to go down anyway, and the poison spell only served to grab about 250 or so hit points off that right lane tower. Wolf, collecting elixir, is going to go back to work with another furnace, and it goes down the right lane once again. So, strange combination, but again, you can make these things work. The fire spirits work well with the hog rider, and the cannon is just a little bit too late to stop the hog rider. That was an attempt at a psychic fireball. Didn't quite work out. Nothing there countering the hog, but he did get the tower down to under 1,000. And again, a big 4 elixir poison spell being spent on an already timed down furnace, meaning that it had already maybe expended about half of its life. And again, only about another 250 off of that right lane tower. So things are starting to look better by the second for Wolf, who is now pumping 2 elixir collectors and drops the rocket that's also going to grab the musketeer. Great timing on that one. The fireball helps to stop that hog rider and the Valkyrie, and here comes the mini P.E.K.K.A. on her way out. Not going to make it, but she will take that tower down, giving the other units, oh, there is a river deployed tombstone. That's an unusual strategy. They head on their way out there, and another rocket is going to ice the first crown. Now it's just a matter of holding off this barrage of poison spells that Wolf is being subjected to. The hog rider gets to the tower, but it can't get the job done. Time is going to run down. Less than 100 hit points on Wolf's tower, but he is going to win the all rare card challenge. The Valkyrie can't get there. The poison can't get it done either. And Wolf just barely squeaking out the win as the Valkyrie lands up, rests her head against the tower as time runs out. So Wolf manages a victory against a similar level player after my embarrassing 13 versus 11 win, but this time I've taken the all rare card challenge to my Galadon gem account and put together an only rare card deck for my level 6 non-gemming, yes, free-to-play account, and I'm facing a level 7 player who has got at least a couple of epics in his deck. Now right away I'm facing Balloon Rage, but luckily the bomb tower has quite a few hit points. The musketeer on the right lane just barely able to reach out and touch that balloon, and only the dragon is going to get to the tower, and that's only after the rage spell had expired. My musketeer on the right side gets to the tower, gets a couple of shots in. The hog rider is going to do the same. So after the first exchange of pushes, it's pretty close. I'm only a little bit behind in hit points, and considering I'm facing a higher level player, pretty happy with the outcome except for the Valkyrie and now another balloon. So I've had to use my giant to try to push the Valkyrie back. Here comes the balloon down the left-hand side, and sure enough, another rage spell. This guy watching way too many Galamom episodes. Dropping the rage spell, it really didn't do a lot. It does get my tower down to under 800, but check out my giant going to town on the right lane, musketeer on the left. So again, working out pretty well. The trade, I'm losing a little bit more each time, but at least I'm getting some back, and now I've damaged his left tower just in case I have to try to go to 2-1. I would love to win this. Dropping the bomb tower in the center. Really, all it's doing is tanking at this point. Does a great job, though. It distracts that dragon until the tower can take the dragon out, and now the bomb tower is just going to sit and expire. Now, more bad news. He's got a barbarian hut coming at me down the right-hand lane, and it's going to serve to protect his tower from another hog rider push. I try to use the Valkyrie, the tombstone, liking the tombstone as a rare card right now. Big fan of the tombstone. All right, so I dropped the giant, and I've got giant Valkyrie pushing down the right lane. He's got a Valkyrie of his own, and he's got another rage spell, this time enraging his units and his tower. My fireball just about finishes off the barbarian. Man, his units look all hyperactive under that rage spell, but it's not doing a lot of good. They finally come through. He's got a prince on the way as well. Go after the bomb tower, please. All right, so the skeleton's doing a great job to slow down that prince. I'm able to put another tombstone down, and that's pretty much the prince's worst nightmare. Another rage spell, another giant pushing the Valkyrie out of the way. A little brutality on her. She goes down quickly, and that rage spell pretty much wasted again. It is a tough card to play right. It really is. I'm not a fan of using the rage spell in any condition, and it is one of my least favorite cards in the game. I feel like it's just too difficult to play, and there are too few places where you are going to get good value out of that card where you couldn't have done better with a different card. He drops a rocket, but it doesn't get my right tower down. with time running out, we go into overtime. Hog Rider and the Fireball getting to his right lane can't quite get the job done. I've got to rotate around if I can to try to get that right lane before he gets another rocket up. You know it's coming. It's just a matter of him getting the elixir and getting the rocket ready. Here comes the balloon. There runs the mini P.E.K.K.A. Come on, one shot will do it. No, the Valkyrie gets in her way, takes her down. The balloon on the approach down the left-hand side. It falls. The bomb just short of my tower. He has got a rocket coming. You know it's coming. Here it comes. Fireball first, though. Hog Rider. Yes! The Hog Rider and the Fireball combination beat the rocket to the punch. And almost simultaneously, just by a split second, I managed to barely win that battle with only rare cards. So let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see more challenges like this or less of them? You know that I listen to you. You guys are the ones I have to thank for being here every single day. And speaking of every day, I hope I see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, you'll see me tomorrow unless you unlock this bathroom. Come on, man. It's cold in here.